welcome back to the Weekly Comic Book Snap. It's issue 83 of the Snap. And we're back again. Glorious Frog Ross Comics and Books. We've mixed the angle up a little bit.
Next to the wall.
Next to the glorious wall of comics. And we've got a wonderful table of graphic novels here.
Yes.
Looks good. So, back again. Back with some new books for this week.
And last week.
And last week, of course.
And possibly the week before.
Ooh, it's all a little bit mixed up in my brain.
A little bit mixed up in comic book world land.
Comic book world land. Yeah. So, yeah, it's good to be back. How's the week been so far?
Splendid.
Yeah.
Always.
Happy with this week's or last week's new books? Interesting stuff? Or?
Last week's was a good old haul. This week has been a kind of a... we marketed it as Independence Day.
Right.
Because Marvel and DC have taken a hiatus this week. A bit of a week off.
Oh, okay, good.
So,
have we had any independents filling the void?
A bunch of the indies came in. Some of the big hitters, Mr. Jason Aaron.
Nice.
Mr. Kirkman.
Beauty.
With a couple of books.
Yeah.
One of which we'll be talking about. A little bit exciting.
Good. Woo! Bit of week. Okay, so good stuff. So where are we starting this week, Spesh? Where are we?
Well, we're going to start by a little look back at a book that came out over here in the UK last week.
Right.
And it came out 2 weeks ago, old stateside, so we're still catching up. Still old Corona
They
world.
always get the good stuff first, eh?
They do, but it is the good stuff, and it was worth waiting for, although Will's going to poo-poo all over it. It is Dark Knight's Death Metal.
Boom.
By the dream team of Scott SNYDER and Greg Capulo.
There's no doubt that this is a dream team.
They are a dream team.
They are a dream team. I'm
They
not
are.
going to deny that. So, yes, tell us all about this.
well, this is a follow-on from Dark Knight's Metal. So
Yes.
Death Metal following on Metal.
Of course.
And as we all know, the metal is the main thing that flew out of that bad boy is the Batman Who Laughs, isn't
That's
it?
right, yeah.
It is. Who has become
what a great character. Though.
He is a fantastic character.
Fantastic
A character that shouldn't really work, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
It should feel convoluted and just wrong, but
Yeah.
it's a cool character.
There's nothing convoluted about this book, my friend.
Well, this book. So this... See...
You know what? Before we go on, I like the look of the Batman Who Laughs. He's just got that kind of slightly, Lord of the Rings-esque kind of no eyes face.
Yeah, no, exactly.
He's totally screwed up. Kind
The
of
idea
look.
is that he's
Horror
the
kind of
Joker
vibe.
mixed with Batman to become this beast. So he's got all the craziness of the Joker and the nastiness mixed with the smarts of Bruce.
Bruce, that's right. And I think just from a graphic design point of view, brilliant.
It does work, and he's got the little robins who are these little
Robin goblins.
Yeah, goblins, and
classic.
the whole thing. I think is really smart and really good.
Awesome. Yeah.
However, I do agree with you a little bit in that they're pulling lots of threads here.
They are.
And on the whole kind of build up to Dark Days of Metal, when that first started coming out, I thought it was amazing, but you really did need to know a little bit about DC history, or at least go back and find out something about DC history.
Yeah.
And since then, Mr. SNYDER has gone off and done his Justice League epic sprawling, which a lot of people like.
Yep.
I've got to admit, I did find it a little bit convoluted.
Right.
And almost feeling like you need about 4 Wikipedia pages open to figure out what's going on. And it was almost like pulling in new language as well.
Right.
And it was just a little bit too much. But this comes into this book as well. So it looks awesome. And like I said to you, it feels to me, even this first issue, because they've gone down the whole kind of metal, thrash metal, all metal kind of, it feels like a rock opera just in this one book. So it really is. It's like balls out when it comes to it and just in your face. Then there is that little bit of a lull in the middle where
It's an exposition lull.
Exactly, where he winds everything in. He talks about how we get to this
Which
place.
needs to be done, to be fair. Like
It does, but even I found it a little bit. You got to find
slows it up a little.
Yeah,
bit.
it really does. So it's just like the little tinkering as a musician like yourself would know. Before it goes right back into the end and the massive lift and in your face, and it's brilliant.
It's a bit of a slow middle eight.
It's even got some threads from places where I wouldn't have expected in it. So you would expect it from the Justice League because you're dealing with the Justice League, and you would expect it from the Metal, and you would expect it from these guys on Batman.
Yeah.
Possibly wouldn't from the Watchmen and the Doomsday Clock, but there are little bits in there, and you're like, okay. And he's obviously enjoying playing with all the DC
it's a broad
universe.
canvas, isn't it? It's a massive canvas to play with. And
yeah, I think
he's a good guy to do it. No doubts about that from a writing perspective. Yeah.
He is, and like we've said before when we've reviewed Scott Snyder's stuff, that he's very much a historian.
Yeah.
And so he's going to lean on the history of what's happened in the DC universe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And unlike our world and the history there, where things are plotted just in one world, in the DC universe, it's all over the place with all the multiverses and all the crises that have been. So you can get a bit bogged down with it, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it, I've got to say.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of, it's like I said to you before, I think that I'm sort of not massively versed in DC world history. But I did read the
look at this one thing.
Metal.
Just for this one thing, it's freaking awesome.
I mean, that's cool. But I sort of read this. I love the look of it. It's like I say. I think Capulo's artwork on it is great. I think tonally, it's cool.
Batman got? What's Batman got?
Right.
It is.
But it just is a little bit. I find it a touch inaccessible. Like there's stuff going on that I don't really know what it's referencing, and there's some characters that I'm unsure of who it is, and it's quite dialogue heavy. I found.
I think we've said this before.
Just a bit complex and convoluted, and from a accessible kind of narrative standpoint, I'm just kind of like, I just found it a bit much.
Really?
Yeah,
even when you get the great things like,
dude, if you enjoy it,
the bat coming with the ring, and
there's some amazing bits.
The
in
last
it, like,
Batman, just with the little. I don't want to say it.
I enjoyed bits of it. Don't get me wrong, but the feeling I came away with was like it was just a bit complex. It was just and a little bit inaccessible. Like if you're not fully nerding out on this all the time. And I appreciate pulling on all these strings and the knowledge and all of that, but like you've got I feel that there's something about you need to just maybe pay heed to your audience a little bit as well, and maybe not make it quite so dense or quite so. For me, I just found it.
I get it completely. This is what I've been saying for a while. When he went onto the Justice League, and people would come in and they wanted a Justice League,
and I'm a huge Snyder fan. Like I love his.
I would go back to the New 52 stuff and Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
Just because it was an absolutely no disrespect meant here, but I saw that as a big dumb book that was great. And it was a guilty pleasure every month when it came out. I loved that book, and that is accessible. This. Yeah, like I've said all along, it's not overly accessible, but I think this is more accessible than the Justice League, personally.
Yeah, I haven't read I'm not on the Justice League, so I haven't read any of that. But
what would you give it out of 10?
Maybe a 6.
Oh, well, it gets a 9 from me.
Wow.
Yes.
Generous.
No, honest.
It's good. I for
the artwork alone,
the artwork's
and just
amazing.
some of the balls out,
pointy style.
And
they're clearly having fun. Like,
absolutely.
Which I really enjoy.
Bags of fun.
And if you want to take a deep dive and sort of learn a bit more about the DC universe, great book to do that sort of thing, because you can look up.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Isn't that the thing? That's what we do in comics. You don't have to jump in at the first issue of everything and read 80 years of it. You've got to draw the line in the sand, and this is a great place to draw the line in the sand, and you will want to go out and learn more.
But even then, I think you need to have read some stuff. You can't jump on this, or if you do, you're going to be
guys
struggling.
Come on down. make your first ever comic this one, and then let us
I'll
know.
enjoy it. And the other thing I found was like the red on black text, which I said to you earlier, like maybe I need my eyes tested, but just struggled a little bit with that. I don't know.
And I can't say what I said to you, so we will leave it there.
But all in all, you know, good fun.
It's a great
It's
book.
good stuff.
It is. I'm
enjoyed
really
it.
looking forward to the rest of it. I do get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Can feel a little bit convoluted, maybe a little bit forced.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be very much worth it in the end.
Fabulous. Positive stuff there from Special.
Always.
Nice roundup. There we are, folks. So that's Dark Knight's Death Metal 1.
Even the title.
It's such a tongue twister. There we are. So we'll be back. Until then, obviously, look after each other, be good, and stay safe.